I wasn't talking
For the second time this season, the Utah Jazz come from behind in the fourth quarter and overtime to win a ball game. Keyonte's monster threes, Filipowski's historic Jazz night. It's all next on POSTCAST.
You are Locked On Jazz, your daily podcast on the Utah Jazz. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
A sold-out house leaves Salt Lake City with the Jazz 17th win of the season and a happy crowd. Loving the win by the Jazz. Clutching up Kyle Filipowski with a monster game. Keyonte George bouncing back from adversity. Hits 2 huge threes. And the Jazz beat the Blazers. We're talking about it on POSTCAST. I'm David Locke along with Ron Boone, your Utah Jazz radio team. We bring it to you POSTCAST every single night after the Jazz game. Glad to be with you again. We'll give out our reliability pluses at the end. We'll look at how this one went down, some of the evolution, some of the big plays some of the guys made. The headliner, though, has got to be Kyle Filipowski on this one tonight, Ron. Kyle Filipowski, the first ever Jazz rookie to have 30 points and 15 rebounds in the night. He finished the night with 30 points, 18 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks in 33 minutes of this game, and he was the monster in the fourth quarter. Made a huge play late, spinning off Thibault for a dunk, and then was just a dominating force in this basketball game.
That dunk tied the basketball game out, which was just a smart play. I mean, you find teams that are starting to overplay, and they think they know the play, and Kyle faked the handoff. The defense bid on it. He spins and goes to the basket. He just played a smart basketball game, I thought.
He's what I loved, and I said this on the postgame show. Go ahead.
What I was impressed with, they were picking on him.
Yeah.
Defensively.
Yeah.
And he came right back at them.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. That's a really good point. So I'm going to go with a different area where I was really impressed. I'm impressed with how he started the night. He had missed 14 straight threes coming in.
Yeah.
And the first 2 times he got 3-point looks, he just took them. He didn't hesitate. He didn't look like he was hesitant. And he missed them both. And he just kept coming. And to see him get through that kind of adversity and to fight through that and believe like that, that shows me an awful lot about his mental fortitude and who he is as a player. Because you've missed 14 straight threes. You're aware of it. There's no question. You come out, you miss your first 2. And he hit his next one. He gave the kiss of the fingers and the point to the sky. Like, it wasn't lost on him what was going on, but it didn't seem to impact his approach and how he went after it.
And I guarantee you, David, that the coaches has been in his ear about that. I mean, not so much just the fact you keep shooting it. I mean, you're open, you keep shooting, eventually it's going to come around. I mean, every player in the NBA, well, that thinks he can score, that's a shooter, goes through something, a drought where you're just not making shots. Some guys approach it a little bit different, start driving to the basket, start looking at the mid-range. But every player in the league goes through something like that.
The one that's interesting on this one is the collection of ways he scored. He hit some spot-up threes, but he also, without Isaiah Collier in this game, he also basically played point guard. He came off a high pick and roll, turned the corner, went to the basket. He crossed over and drove at Donovan Clingan and went to the basket. Yeah. He came off of the play that's the highlight of the night. He catches 20 feet out, fakes a handoff, turns the corner on Thibault and goes down to dunk. The amount of different ways he scored tonight was pretty impressive.
So what you're saying is that he only had 5 assists, but it was the reads of what he was able to do out there on the floor. I mean, they overplay one time. They overtake this away, then I'm driving to the basket. And then he made some nifty passes there as well that probably didn't lead to buckets that led to something else happening out there on the floor, which is very impressive. But coaches talk about making the right reads all the time. And obviously he did that tonight.
You know, it's interesting is I thought those assists, I'd have to look, I'm sure at least 3 of them came in the first half. I thought those assists came early, Ron. I thought the assists opened up the game for him. And as the night went on, he became more offensive-minded. He did. He had at halftime, he had 10.6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, or 2 blocks, or 2 steals and a block. So the assists, I thought, opened up the game for him tonight. His passing, Rick Higgins joined us at halftime, was talking about his passing. Those are things I thought got Kyle going tonight.
Well, there are a lot of ways to get yourself going in the NBA, in basketball, period. He just seems to play his game, though. I mean, he comes up the floor, goes behind his back. I mean, it's like I've been doing this all the time, that type of thing. And he's just, this is just a fun basketball game to watch him tonight because he did make the good reads in the right place.
So I don't want to overplay it too much. He was really good tonight. This was not this was not a high-level NBA game. But the collection of skills we saw today by a 7-footer. There aren't that many 7-footers in this league that are coming off pick and rolls, that are rebounding and bringing it up the floor, that are going behind their back, they're shooting threes, they're spinning. Like, there aren't, like, he's got a unique offensive skill set.
Yeah, he really does. He got to show it probably more so the second half of the season, to the point where he was starting to get the minutes, and not necessarily the minutes, but valuable minutes. And he didn't change his skill set. I was impressed, going behind his back, the spin moves, finishing at the rim, which is very important there as well. But, he just had one heck of a basketball game, and I know we were really giving him all the accolades and all that kind of stuff. But, Keyonte had his moments there.
We'll get to those about Keyonte in 1 second. Today's show is brought to you by Robinhood Gold. With Robinhood Gold, you can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. The privileges, the very privileged, are no longer exclusive. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%, plus you also get 4% APY on your cash and non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national seasonal savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. Receive your 3% boost on annual IRA contributions. Sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rates subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for $1 for your first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. 8 times the national average. Savings account interest rate claim is based on the data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC. Member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC. Today's show is also brought to you by BetterHelp. Taking care of mental health is just as important as taking care of physical health. So traditional in-person therapy can be expensive, often ranging up to $250 a session. That's where BetterHelp comes in. With online therapy, you can get quality care at the price that makes sense, saving you time and money. Therapy isn't just for the life's toughest moments. It can help with everyday stress, learning how to set boundaries, developing positive coping skills. Having access to support when you need it can make a big difference. For your well-being, it's worth it. Visit BetterHelp.com/LockedOnNBA to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/LockedOnNBA. Keyonte George is 4 of 14. He has 6 turnovers. He has just committed a terrible turnover that will probably go to Bryce Sensabaugh instead of Keyonte George when he threw a bad pass. He'd had 2 reckless drives to the baskets that didn't give him any chance to score. He was really playing about as badly as someone could play. And he gets the ball on the top, and the shot clock's winding down, and a level of difficulty 9.7 shot, and he buries it. And he comes down on the next possession, and he clears out, and he crosses over, and he rises up and buries another one to clinch the ball game.
Yeah, that was gutsy, or confident, but he ended up getting the job done. The threes that he made, sometimes you feel like that's a bad shot, or you shouldn't be taking that shot, or something like that. But he was as confident as I've seen him all season long with that play. That right side, David, from that 3-point line, it's not like he's square, going straight up and straight down. He's always like fading a little bit to his right, but he has been just deadly from that right up above the break.
And what's crazy about it, by the way, is he started the year at about 26% on the angle right 3. And since February 1st, he's about 42%. The angle left's a bad spot for him. He's 30% on the season. But angle right, he's now at about 40% since February 1st on that right side 3. So he's figured something out over on that side of the floor, usually coming off the bounce, off his pick and roll to be able to make that shot.
Well, a lot of players have different spots on the floor that they think they shoot. Tucker, corner threes.
Yep.
That's all he wanted to shoot. I mean, that's how good he was. And obviously right now, Keyonte thinks that up above the break on the right side is his shot. I mean, the defender was in his face, and it wasn't like the defender was a 6'1" player. I mean, I think it was who was that? Was that Thibault?
On the last one, I don't know who he had.
Yeah.
I apologize.
But he was about, he was bigger than Keyonte anyway.
Right. And Kamara and Sharp didn't play the overtime for Portland tonight, so they did not have either to go after Sharp or the best defender on the floor in Kamara for the Jazz. Oscar Tshiebwe had a fun night. Let's give him a shout out. 17 points, 10 rebounds. Pretty relentless in this one.
Yeah, 18 minutes, 19 minutes. Very nice basketball game for him. 7 for 14 from the field. What do you have? Offensive rebounds. 7 of his 10 rebounds came on the offensive glass. Just fun watching him go after rebounds and not waiting for the ball to come to him.
Jazz play an Oklahoma City team that might roll out some of their regular guys. They have not been playing many of them recently. They last check, I'm not sure what happened. Washington did lose already today, so the Jazz are now tied with the Wizards for 17 wins on the season. But the Jazz get one tonight in overtime over Portland. Great deal of fun. Crowd was into it. The crowd's been amazing all year considering the record. And tonight was on a night where we tributed Dan Roberts in his great career as the announcer for the Utah Jazz.
And I'm sure that poster that will be hanging in the Raptors. Did they?
Well, I don't know if that would be retiring his. I don't know if they gave him a jersey. I don't know if they're going to put it in the Raptors. They also had these T-shirts tonight. How about this Jazz honoring Dan Roberts? Kind of cool. So tribute to Dan. Ron, reliability pluses, Dan Roberts, and who else?
That's good. Dan Roberts and let's go Oscar.
Yep.
Sure. We have Bryce Sensabaugh. I thought
6 threes tonight.
Yeah. I have Kyle.
Yep.
And I have Keyonte, even though he had 7 turnovers. He had the big shots. So reliability for him is turned into be just big shots. Is that such a thing?
Well, I can promise you who's not going to agree with you on that.
So
it's not
Keyonte.
me. I promise you that the people who coach him every day are going to not say that 7 turnovers are okay.
Yep.
As
you know
long
what
as
that
you just
sounds
make
like?
big shots.
I remember broadcasting the game years ago. John Stockton may have had 28 points, 15 assists or something like that, but he had 10 turnovers.
Yep.
And I remember Gordon Monson. All he wanted to talk about was the 10 turnovers.
It's that negative media, Ron.
Right,
Just that negative media.
So I'm not. So we're going with Keyonte. We're going to Filipowski, Bryce, and Oscar.
Okay, sounds great.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning into POSTCAST tonight. Check out Locked On NBA for the every night game night and also on YouTube for the 24/7 stream. Have a great one. Talk to you later.